Hello children, welcome to Learning Made Easy. I hope you all would have enjoyed the video on pronouns. Today we're gonna learn determiners and its types detailedly. So what is a determiner, children? Determiners are used to clarify or modify a noun. Look at the sentences given here, children. We have book. We have a book. We have your book. Look at the first sentence. We have book. When I say we have book, the noun book is not clarified properly and the sentence looks awkward. But when I say we have a book, I am using the determiner a to clarify that I have only one book. A means one. Likewise, when I say we have your book, the noun book is clarified again and I say that the book belongs to you. So children, you can understand that determiners modify a noun. When I say modify, it means that determiners add some more meaning to the noun used in the sentence. Let me give you one more example, children. If I say we have my book, I am using the determiner my here. The meaning changes, right? The meaning is modified. The book belongs to me. If I say we have your book, the meaning is that the book belongs to you. That's how determiners modify a noun. Modify the meaning of a noun. Children, don't get confused between adjectives and determiners because in a way both modify or describe a noun. Let's learn the differences between adjectives and determiners now. So children, as I told you earlier, both adjectives and determiners modify a noun but both are totally different. Look at the phrase used by me here. A blue house. So I am using this phrase to describe a house. A is a determiner, blue is an adjective. Now what's the major difference between an adjective and a determiner? Children, there are many differences between an adjective and a determiner, but I want you to keep only this major difference in your mind. It is that adjectives change form according to the degree used. I hope you remember the degrees of comparison: positive degree, comparative degree and superlative degree. Yes, adjectives take different form in all these three different degrees. Look at the examples given here, children. Ram is a tall boy. Tall is the adjective used here to describe the noun boy. And the adjective tall is in positive form. Look at the next example. Ram is taller than Kumar. Here it is in comparative degree. The same adjective tall has become taller. So adjectives change form. However, determiners don't change form. I have given you two determiners here. In these two sentences, Ram is a boy, Julie is the doctor from US. I am using the determiners a and the. Children, do you know any other forms of a and the? No. That's why I say determiners don't change form. This is the major difference between determiners and adjectives. Adjectives change form and determiners don't change form, but both modify a noun. And children, today we're gonna learn the 8 types of determiners in detail: articles, demonstratives, distributives, cardinal numbers, ordinal numbers, quantifiers, possessive adjectives as determiners, and interrogatives. So let's start with articles, children. Children, you might have already learnt articles. Still, I would like to explain articles detailedly. There are two types of articles: indefinite articles and definite articles. The indefinite articles a and an are used with singular nouns and a is used in front of nouns starting with consonant sound. Children, you also know that an is used in front of singular nouns starting with vowel sounds. You say an elephant, an hour. In the word hour, the H is silent and you started with the vowel sound. That's why you use an, and you say a pen, a book. Pen and book are the words have consonant in the beginning, and so you use the article a. Children, we have two indefinite articles a and, but we have only one definite article the. Now let's see the differences between indefinite articles and the definite article. Look at the first difference, children. Indefinite articles are used to denote objects that are not specific. You use a and an to denote objects or nouns which are not specific. You are not particular about the noun. See the example given here. I need a phone. When I say a phone, I mean that I am okay with any kind of phone. I am not particular about the type of phone which I need. So, indefinite articles are used to denote things that are not specific. You are not particular about the noun used there. Now look at this. Definite article the is used to denote objects that are specific. When you use the in front of a noun, you are very particular about the noun. Look at the example given here. I need the phone which you bought. When I say I need the phone which you bought, I am particular that the particular phone which you bought, I want that. I don't want any other phone but the phone which you bought. So, definite article the is used to denote particularity. So, what's the next difference between indefinite articles and definite article? Indefinite articles a and an are used when you are speaking about a noun for the first time, when you introduce an object. Look at the example given here. I saw an elephant yesterday. You're just speaking about an elephant for the first time. And if you're going to speak about the same elephant again, you should use the. Look at this. Definite article the is used when we mention the object again. If you're going to speak about the same elephant again, you should use the definite article the. Look at this example here. I saw an elephant yesterday. The elephant was so huge. In the first sentence, I am speaking about the elephant for the first time, so I am using an indefinite article an. In the second sentence, I am repeating the information about the elephant, so I am using the definite article the. Look at the next difference, children. Indefinite articles can never be used with plural nouns because the indefinite articles a and an mean the number 1. Indefinite articles are used as synonyms for the number 1. Look at the example given here, children. They bought a computer. When I say a computer, I mean one computer. However, definite article the can be used with plural nouns if you are particular about the plural noun. And you can also use the in front of plural countries or plural regions and water bodies. Look at the examples given here, children. The Netherlands. When I say the Netherlands, I am pointing out at a particular group of nations. The Netherlands have 12 provinces. So I can use the in front of this plural country. Children, you may have the doubt why we don't say the India, because even we have many states. Children, there in Netherlands, all the 12 provinces have different authority and they can work individually. But here we depend upon the central government. So we cannot call the India. We can just say India, but we can say the Netherlands because all 12 provinces have individual authority. It's like different kingdoms put together. Imagine many provinces, many kingdoms put together, and it is called as Netherlands. For such plural countries, you can use the definite article the. Now let's learn the next difference between indefinite articles and definite article. Indefinite articles are used in front of a singular noun in a group. See, she is a singer. When I say she is a singer, there are many singers. She is also one among them. She is a singer. But if I say she is the singer, it means that there are no singers in this world and she is the only singer. It looks awkward, right? So I can say she is a singer to mean that among many singers, she is one. But you can say she is the singer when you are particular about a person. Children, you can use definite article the in front of an adjective. We saw that we use articles in front of noun, right? But the definite article the can be used in front of adjectives also. That's what I say. You can use definite article before certain adjectives to give a plural meaning. When you use the in front of certain adjectives, it gives plural meaning. Look at the examples given here. The rich. Rich is an adjective. When I use the in front of it, it gives the plural meaning, the rich people. When I say the word poor is an adjective. When I use the in front of it, it gives the plural meaning, the poor people. So these are the differences between indefinite articles and definite article. Now let's move to the next type of determiners, children. The next type of determiners is demonstratives. Children, we already learned demonstrative pronouns, but that's totally different from the demonstratives given here. Here, the determiners, demonstratives are used exactly in front of the noun. See, determiners are used in front of nouns. I hope you remember this. Demonstrative pronouns, I can give you an example. These are ducks. There, I'm not using the word these straight away in front of ducks. But here, look at this example. These cherries, I'm using the word these just in front of the noun cherries. So that's the major difference between demonstrative pronouns and demonstratives in determiners. Demonstratives in determiners are used to modify nouns. Demonstrative pronouns are used instead of nouns. Now look at this. There are 4 demonstratives. This, that, these, those. This and that are used to denote singularity. These and those are used to denote plurality. This is used when you are pointing out at something closer. That is used when you are pointing out at something which is far. These is used to point out plural things which are closer. Those is used to point out plural things which are far. I repeat, children, demonstratives this and that are used only in front of singular nouns, but these and those are used in front of plural nouns. Plural nouns more than one. You say this apple and these apples. You say that apple and those apples. Now let's look at the next determiner type, distributives. Look at the example given here, children. Each pen I have is costly. When I say each pen I have is costly, I mean that I have many pens. It's like a group, and from that group I'm pointing out at each pen separately, individually. Each pen, every single pen is costly. So, distributives are used to denote things or actions divided between individual thing or a person in a group or a pair. Imagine children, there are 40 students in your class. I am distributing chocolate to each child. So I would say each child received chocolates. Here I mean every single child from the 40 children received chocolates. So here you are speaking about one individual thing or one individual object from a group or a pair. So we're going to learn these four distributives detailing children. Each, every, either, neither. Let's start children. The first distributive we're going to learn is each. Look at the example given here children. Three girls came. Each girl was singing a song. In the first line I have introduced three girls. Three girls came. It's like a group children. But from that group I am speaking about each girl separately. Each girl was singing a song. Every single person was singing a different song. That's the meaning. The noun girl is a singular. And I have also used the singular verb was. Children, you know that were is the plural verb used with plural nouns and was is the singular verb used with singular noun. So the distributive each is used to refer to separate persons or things from a group. Likewise, here I have given a group of three girls, but I am speaking about each girl separately, and you should also use it with singular verb. The next determiner we're going to learn is every. Look at the example given here children. I gifted my son with 7 toys. Every toy is made in India. The distributive every is used to denote all the things or persons in a group. When I say every toy is made in India, I mean that all the toys from the group have been made in India. So, the distributive every is used to refer to all the persons or things in a group. Again, like each, every should also be used with singular verb. See here I am using every toy is. Is a singular verb. You cannot use are. Every should also be used with a singular verb because distributives are distributed among each and every individual or thing in a group, right? A single entity. So it should be used like a singular. So children, even if I am speaking about hundreds of toys, the distributive every should have a singular noun next to it. Every toy. I have not given every toys. It is every toy. And it should also be treated like a singular noun. Every toy is treated as a singular noun. That's why I am using a singular verb is. Children, the next distributive we're going to learn is either. The distributive either is used to talk about one person or one object from a pair. Look at the example given here. There are two restaurants in my place. Either restaurant is good. When I say either, the meaning is this restaurant is also good and the other one is also good. From the pair, I am looking at each restaurant separately. Now you would have understood the meaning of the word either. Likewise, when I say Ram and Karthik are my students, either is good. It means that Ram is also good and Karthik is also good. So, the distributive either is used to talk about one of the two people or things. Here, either is also used with singular verb like each, every. Either should also be treated as singular. Next distributive we're gonna learn is neither. Look at the example given here. There are two pencils in my bag. Neither pencil is good. Like either, neither is also used to speak about one thing or one person from a pair. Here I am speaking about two pencils, but I am saying this pencil is also bad, that pencil is also bad. Instead of using the word bad to give the opposite form of good, I am using neither. When I say neither good, it means bad. Okay. See children, neither is a distributive used to denote exclude both of two people or things that we are talking about. Exclude the opposite or leaving out from the list. When I say Ram and Karthik are my student, neither is good in singing. I mean that Ram is also bad in singing and Karthik is also bad in singing. So, the term neither is like the negative form of either. Like either, neither should also be used with singular verb. See children, I say neither pencil. I am not saying neither pencils. Neither pencil is good and I am using the singular verb is. So children, whenever you use neither with a noun, it should be treated like singular. Not only neither, all the four distributors given here are used with singular verb. The next determiner type we're gonna learn is cardinal numbers. Children, you know numbers, right? And you might have learned cardinal numbers in maths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like counting. All these numbers are called as cardinal numbers. Look at the examples given here. I have two puppies in my home. We are selling all our 4 fish tanks. So I have used numbers just in front of nouns. Two puppies. Puppies is a noun. Likewise, I have used 4 fish tanks. Fish tanks is a noun phrase, right? So, cardinal numbers are used in front of noun or noun phrases. And cardinal numbers are used in front of countable nouns. Puppies, fish tanks, pens, chairs. Whenever I am going to denote the quantity of countable nouns like these, I should use cardinal numbers in front of these nouns. So, cardinal numbers are used to denote quantity of a countable noun. That's why I say they are used to denote quantity of the countable noun used in a sentence and used before nouns. The next determiner type we're gonna learn is ordinal numbers. Children, I hope you know what are ordinal numbers. When you say 1, 2, 3, 4, these are cardinal numbers. When I say first, second, third, fourth, 20th, all these are called as ordinal numbers. Look at the examples given here. Radha is the second girl in your row. Abhi was the 5th child selected for the tournament. So, ordinal numbers are used to denote position in a series or a sequence of countable nouns. What is the meaning of series and sequence, children? Look at the first example. Radha is seated in a row. Imagine the row is huge and many girls are seated one after another. Placing objects one after another is called as sequence or series. In that series, I am telling the position of Radha. Where is Radha? She is in the second position. So, ordinal numbers are used to denote position of a single entity in a sequence. Ordinal numbers are used to put things in order, in sequence. Like cardinal numbers, ordinal numbers are also used with countable nouns. Only with countable nouns, not with uncountable nouns like oil, sugar. No, you cannot use. Look at the examples. Girl is a countable noun. Child is also a countable noun. The next determiner type we're gonna learn is quantifiers, children. Again, like cardinal numbers or ordinal numbers, quantifiers are also used to tell about the quantity of a noun used in the sentence. Children, there is one more exception. Sometimes cardinal numbers and ordinal numbers are also put under quantifiers category. Anyway, we have already learned cardinal numbers and ordinal numbers. Now let's learn the other quantifiers. Look at the examples given here, children. I am saying I have seen many movies acted by Charlie Chaplin. I am using the quantifier many with the noun movies, and I am denoting the quantity of movies I have seen. I have seen many movies. There are only a few books in a library. Here again I am speaking about the quantity of books. There are only a few books. How many books are there? Only a few books are there in a library. Quantifiers are used to denote quantity of a noun. There are two types of quantifiers, children. Today we are gonna learn both the types detailedly. The first quantifier type we are gonna learn is quantifiers used with countable nouns. Some, any, a lot of, these are some of the quantifiers used with countable nouns. Look at the example given here. I want some chocolates. I'm not particular about the number, but I'm speaking about the quantity. I want some chocolates. Some denotes quantity and it should be used with countable noun. Chocolates is a countable noun. Look at the next example. Any. I don't have any cookies to eat. Like some, any also denotes quantity. The distributive any should be used in a negative sentence or in a question. See, I am saying I don't have. Don't is a negative verb. I don't have any cookies to eat. Likewise, I can use it in question also. Do you have any cookies to eat? The next quantifier used with countable noun is a lot of. She ate a lot of jalebis. The noun jalebis is also countable. To denote its quantity, I am using a lot of. Children, remember some, any, a lot of. These three quantifiers, sometimes they are also used with uncountable nouns, but let's learn it later. Children, like some, any, a lot of, many, few, a few are also quantifiers used with countable nouns. Look at the examples given here. I have many dolls. To denote the quantity of dolls, I am using the quantifier many. Few cities can match the beauty of villages. Only a few girls sang like Anamika. Few, a few. Both are also quantifiers used with countable nouns. But there's a slight difference between few and a few. When I say few cities, which means no city. When I say a few, it means some. See, when I say few cities can match the beauty of villages, the meaning is no city can match the beauty of villages. When I say only a few girls sang like Anamika, it means that some girls sang like Anamika. Very less number of girls sang like Anamika. Children, these three quantifiers, many, few, a few, they are strictly used only with countable nouns. I told you some, any, a lot of. They can also be used with uncountable nouns, but these three, many, few, a few, these three are used only with countable nouns. I cannot say many oil, a few oil. It's wrong, children. Children, the six quantifiers we learnt now can be used in front of plural nouns as well as singular nouns, because they are used in front of countable nouns, right? Countable nouns can take plural form also. Now let's learn the next type of quantifiers, children. Quantifiers used with uncountable nouns. Much, little, a little. These are some of the quantifiers used with uncountable nouns. Let's learn them detailedly, children. Look at the example given here. Is there much oil left in the bottle? Oil is an uncountable noun. To denote the quantity of this uncountable noun, I am using the quantifier much. The next one is little. There is little milk left in the bottle. Little milk. Children, milk is also an uncountable noun. To denote its quantity, I am using the quantifier little. The next one is a little. There is a little milk left in the bottle. Children, there is a slight difference between little and a little, like in few and a few. Okay. See children, when I say little milk, I mean no milk at all. See the picture also. There is little milk left in the bottle, which means there is no milk at all in the bottle. When I say there is a little milk left in the bottle, I mean there is some milk left in the bottle. Some amount is left there. Little means nothing. A little means something is there. Children, keep in your mind much, little, a little. These three quantifiers should only be used in front of uncountable nouns. These three can never be used in front of countable nouns. Imagine children, I saw much girls on the road. Is it correct? No, it's wrong. Girls is a countable noun, right? So, much, little, a little are the quantifiers used only with uncountable nouns like oil, sugar, powder, and it is wrong to use them in front of countable nouns. Children, already we saw any, some, a, lot of in quantifiers used with countable nouns. But these quantifiers can also be used with uncountable nouns. Remember children, much, little, a little. These three can be used only with uncountable nouns, but a, lot of, some, any. These three quantifiers can also be used with countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Let's see how these three are going to be used with uncountable nouns. Look at the example, children. She had spent a lot of time watching movies. Time is an uncountable noun. You cannot count it, right? So in front of that noun, I am using a lot of. The next example, can I have some water? Can you count water, children? It's an uncountable noun, right? To tell the quantity, I am using the quantifier some. The third example, is there any water left in the pot? There isn't any water left in the pot. See the sentences, children. The first sentence, is there any water left in the pot, is a question. So, any can be used in a question. Again, water is an uncountable noun. See the next sentence, there isn't any water left in the pot. Isn't is a negative verb, right? The sentence is negative. In a negative sentence also, you can use the quantifier any. Again here, the quantifier any is used in front of uncountable noun water. Children, you try to make as many examples as possible using all these quantifiers after watching this video. Children, the next determiner type we're going to learn is possessive adjectives. Let's see how possessive adjectives are used as determiners. Look at the examples given here. This is my bag. Lata took her bag. What is the noun used in the sentences? Bag. To clarify this noun bag, I am using possessive adjectives my, her. Children, possessive adjectives denote possession or ownership. When I say my bag, I mean that the bag is mine. When I say her bag, I mean that the bag is hers. And possessive adjectives are always used in front of a noun. Like here, this is my bag. My is the possessive adjective used in front of the noun bag. Here are the possessive adjectives used as determiners, children. His, her, its, my, or, your, their. These are possessive adjectives. They are used to denote possession or ownership. The next determiner type is interrogatives, children. Children, already you know interrogatives means questions. There are only two interrogatives used as determiners. Those two are which and what. Look at the examples. Which bike is yours among these four? What food do you like? Children, which is used to denote particularity. Imagine there are four bikes kept in front of you, and I am speaking about a particular bike which belongs to you. So I am asking which particular bike belongs to you? Which bike is yours among these four? You are particular about the bike. Maybe you are pointing out at it. See this example. What food do you like? What is used with general noun? I am not specific about the particular type of food here. I am generally asking what food do you like? Children, these two interrogative determiners should be used in front of a noun in a question. Which bike? Bike is a noun. What food? Food is a noun. So this is how you should use interrogatives as determiners, children. With this, we have come to the end of the session, children. We have learnt determiners in detail. Whenever you need, you can go through the video again and again. And I want you to make example sentences with each determiner types, children. Thank you. Let's meet in the next video, children.